Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, January 30th, 2022. Today we are going to be walking around Midtown Manhattan and giving a little bit of an earnings forecast for next week. It is going to be one crazy week on Wall Street as we have a lot of the semiconductor stocks reporting earnings, as well as Google, or Alphabet parent company Google. So we have a lot to look for. We have a lot to cover tonight. So just give us 1 second and we will be on our way doing the stream. Hey, I see Cosmo Scary here. What's up, Cosmo? I see Maya. Sally is here. Good afternoon, everybody. Adi is here. NG says, hey there, Tom. Made it here early. Hey, NG. Good afternoon, Santa Monica Rodriguez. Always good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their Sunday. Just give us a minute here and we'll get started. I just got to get my gloves on. It is quite cold once again. Cosmo Scary is here. Deborah J, good to see you. I see Jamie Price. How are you, Jamie? Lil Banks says, hey, Tom, what's good? Ken Kramer, NNB 045. Vinny Castellano is here. Hey, Vinny, I saw your message. Thank you so much for the support. I'm not sure why I didn't see the super chat last night, but thank you for all the support. I very, very much appreciate it, Vinny Castellano. Hey, Charlie Richardson, Maria Castellano is here. Says, good evening, Tom. How are you, Maria? Joey says, hi, Tom. What's up, Joey? So we were actually right outside of the St. Thomas Church, which is one of my favorite churches here in New York. It is so beautiful here. So before we start on our journey here, I'll just show you a little bit of the architecture here. Hey, Serpank is here. Hey, Serpank, and I see sunshine after rain. Good to see you as always. Hey, Maria says, Vinny Castellano and I are enjoying your walk. Hey, thank you so much, Maria. I appreciate it. So Vinny Castellano as well as Maria are joining us from Staten Island. So I hope you guys are thawing out from the snowstorm. I mean, the snow's pretty much all gone, to be honest, but you know, it is quite slushy and wet and nasty here. Hey, Cosmo Scary says, Tom, I've never looked closely at this church. Goodness of the Thunder, Julia says, happy Sunday. Yeah, happy Sunday, everybody. Running at Altitude is here. How are you? So I'll give everybody just a quick look at St. Thomas Church. Absolutely beautiful here on 5th Avenue. It's one of my favorite churches as opposed to St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is also really nice. Hey, Otto is here. What's up, Otto? Says, hi, Tom. Michael Johnson says, greetings from Copper Mine at Arizona. Awesome, Michael. Be safe over there. Liquid Nate is here. Ken Kramer says, AMD should have good earnings Tuesday. We'll see if the stock pops. Yeah, Ken, we're going to talk about that tonight because I think that's a good point you make. I think it's pretty interesting. Bianca M says, hello, everybody. How are you, Bianca? Sunshine after rain. How are you? Liquid Nate says you have some AMD. Let me just make sure the camera's okay here. Let us know if we're in focus, everybody. Penelope is here. Says, hi, Tom. Happy Sunday in beautiful church. Hey, Penelope. Penelope is joining us from the one and only Tennessee. Good to see you as always. So if you look to the top right of your screen, you could actually see the very top of 432 Park Avenue. So there was a couple viewers that were just bringing up AMD on the stream. So here's a little bit of important news that came out last week. So the Chinese authorities actually approved the AMD and Xilinx takeover, and the deal could close as early as February. I would probably say maybe mid-February to be conservative, but it is good news. So Xilinx is also a publicly traded company. So the Chinese authorities did approve that deal, and it should close by mid or early to mid February. Alan Wilson says, good evening, Tom. It's all this sort of nasty slush that's going on. I see Stephen T. How are you, Stephen? Good to see you. Sabrina Fair says, hey, everybody. Good to see you, Sabrina. Stephen T, Alan Wilson, Bianca, Penelope, Liquid Nate. So we're going to be walking up Fifth Avenue and then headed back downtown. So it's going to be a busy week on Wall Street. We have a lot of the semiconductor stocks reporting, but I also wanted to do a quick earnings, a look ahead. Oh, hold on, let me cross the street here. It's going to be one treacherous stream tonight, everybody. I wanted to do a quick earnings, a look ahead for Alphabet. So Alphabet parent Google, ticker symbol GOOGL, is also going to report earnings this week. And as we talk about a lot on the stream, one of the main factors that we really need to pay attention to when Alphabet reports is the Google Cloud Computing Unit. So as we know, Google's cloud unit competes with the likes of Amazon AWS. Amazon will also report later in the week. But we actually have a little bit of forecast to really see how Google will do in their cloud computing unit, because as we were talking about last week, Microsoft did report earnings and their Azure cloud unit the numbers came in better than expected. So that is good. Fernando Lima says, hello, Tom. I am from Brazil. Welcome everybody from Brazil. Thank you for joining us on this frigid night in New York City. Cosmo Scary says, Tom, in your opinion, is Google or Microsoft better at cloud computing? So that's another topic in and of itself, Cosmo, but it's a great question. I think it really just depends on what your use case is, right? So if we look at the market share right now, Amazon AWS holds the vast majority of the market share, with Microsoft Azure coming in at number 2. But Google is a strong number 3, and there's a lot of analysts on Wall Street that, always criticize Alphabet, saying that the Google's cloud computing unit isn't profitable. I think last quarter they lost, over $600 million. But if you really take a deep dive into it, it's losing less and less money every quarter. And that unit, once it becomes profitable, all of that earnings is going to hit the bottom line. And that, let's just say I'm bullish on the stock. Let's just say that over the long term. But we may see slight earnings deceleration. Sunjib says, hi, Tom. How are you? How are you, Sunjib? Good to see you. Fernando Lima, good to see you. Patriot Puma says, Microsoft certification or smoke weed, says Parrot Puma. Interesting take there. I respect it a lot. Miguel says, hola. Bianca M says, New York is beautiful. Karen Alcatraz says, hi, Tom. Hope you're having a great Sunday evening. I am. I hope you are as well. Mike Simmons says, so AMD. Oops, sorry, Mike. Let me scroll back to your comment there. Let's see what Mike Simmons is saying. So AMD will be Chinese owned. No, they won't be Chinese owned. But obviously, anytime that there's a deal proposed, there's always regulatory scrutiny and hurdles that have to take place. So, for example, as we were talking about on the stream a couple days ago, Microsoft put in a bid to take over Activision Blizzard. They wanted to buy Activision Blizzard, but obviously it's probably going to have to get a litany of regulatory approvals and things like that until the deal can close. But Chinese regulators and Chinese authorities gave the green light for Advanced Micro Devices to take over Xilinx. Hey, Miss Brown Eyes, thank you for the $5 donation. It says, when is the best time of year to visit New York? Well, in my opinion, the best time to visit New York for me is during the summer, because it's a lot easier to walk outside and enjoy yourself. You could eat outdoors, you could sit in Central Park and Sheep's Meadow and things like that. But also probably a really close second, Miss Brown Eyes, I would say, is probably the fall. Because when you walk around Central Park, you can see all the foliage, and it's really, really beautiful. But thank you for the donation, and I appreciate it. Ken Kramer says, Tom, AMD closing the Xilinx deal is big. It is big. NVIDIA couldn't close ARM. Yeah, so that's a good point you make, Ken Kramer. Very good point. We were going to go into that in a little bit. Great that you brought that up. Hey, Sanjeev is here. Hey, Sanjeev, what's up, man? Good evening, Sanjeev. I was just talking to you about 5 minutes ago. Hope you're having a good Sunday night. So what Ken Kramer said, everybody, is exactly spot on. So NVIDIA is probably going to abandon its bid to buy chip maker ARM due to regulatory challenges in the United States and China as well. So they're probably just gonna can the deal. which I think is unfortunate. Bianca M says, Tom, do you like snow? I like it once in a while. Once in a while, it's all right. Hey, R2D2 says, I'm here. What's up, R2D2? We are overlooking the Louis Vuitton store right here. Hey, loved ones says, it's so cold, Tom. How are you walking so slow? So, thank God it's not as cold as yesterday. Thank God. Hey, Buy the Book says, hey, Tom and everybody. What's up, Buy the Book? Good to see you. Tatiana says, hey, Tom, good evening. What about the new Vanderbilt Summit? So I definitely want to be able to go up to the Vanderbilt Summit, but I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. Hey, Stephen T, good to see you. Hey, Time Lapse says, Tom runs on nuclear power. That's how he's so warm. So I'll show everybody we're actually standing right outside of Trump Tower right here. Hey, Bianca M says, I watched yesterday's live, was amazing. Hey, thank you, Bianca. We appreciate that. We are right outside of the Trump Towers here. Hey, Michael says, Tom, when are you going back to Miami? So it's going to probably be Wednesday, I want to say, but that is to be determined, but we're shooting for Wednesday. Let's just say that. We're shooting for Wednesday. So this is 57th Street and 5th Avenue. This is Billionaires Row, one of the most expensive blocks in New York City. So this block is home to 432 Park Avenue, 220 Central Park South, Central Park Tower, and the brand new, beautiful Steinway building. Hey, Soho guys here. This is Yo Tom, Yo Dog. What's up, Soho? Good to see you. We were just talking about AMD. Actually just got regulatory approval from the Chinese government to move forward with their Xilinx acquisition, which I think is going to be really, really big. Really, really big. So this building right here is Trump Tower, the main Trump Tower, and actually Cristiano Ronaldo had an apartment in here. Hey, Lou G says, hey, whoa, the city workers have been busy. Streets look great. Yeah, Lou, it usually takes the sanitation department roughly, I'd say about a day, maybe 48 hours to clear up all the snow. But unfortunately, this is what we are left with, these big, big mounds of snow. Hey, Martino Maria, good to see you. Razzle Dazzle 786 says, wow, 11,000 subscribers, you rock. Thank you, Razzle Dazzle, appreciate it. Razzle Dazzle is our pal, that's an MRI technologist from California. Maria Castellano says, if we get a chance, Tom, to visit Springs in Florida, it's very beautiful. Ooh, I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of that and definitely put that on my bucket list. Penelope says, look at that stack of snow. NMB 045 says, we got a glimpse of Lloyd Blankenfein's Billionaires Row apartment. Stunning place. Yeah, Lloyd actually just got a big increase in his basic salary over there. Oh, no, not Lloyd. Lloyd Blankenfein was the former CEO of Goldman Sachs. He's no longer there anymore. But yeah, he made a killing in his day, and now he's living large. Bianca says there's a lot of snow on the ground. Martino Maria, good to see you. Good to see you, NMB 045. Tanya S says, hey, Tom, how are you doing this Sunday? I'm doing really, really well. Stephen T says, what effect do you think these Ottawa protests will have? Let's see. On the markets. I don't think they'll have an effect on the markets next week. I don't think they'll have any effect on the market. Hey, Stephanie Jean says, what's the wind chill like? That I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what the wind chill is. But it's probably right around 20 degrees outside, maybe 25. As we cross the street here at 58th Street, you guys will be able to see all the towers at Billionaires Row. I'll show you right here. Hey, Dutchman says, hey, Tom, happy Sunday night. Stop for a hot drink to keep warm. Thank you, Dutchman. Appreciate it very much. So this building right here is the brand new Steinway building, which is 111 West 57th Street. This little one right here, actually billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman, who runs Pershing Square, actually has an apartment here. It is 157. And then the one right here is Central Park Tower. Very beautiful, very new building. Hey, Ponder Viewer 12 says Lloyd Blankenfein lives at 15 Central Park West. So 15 Central Park West is a very, very exclusive apartment complex. It's not one of the ultra tall skyscrapers, but it is beautiful nonetheless, and it is right next to Trump International Hotel. Great building. Hey, KMC says not as cold as last night, right? Yeah, not as cold, but definitely still cold nonetheless. We are here right outside of the Plaza Hotel. I'll give you guys a quick look at it. Hey, Alex Gray says, hey, Tom, some streams ago you mentioned how you managed to make $100,000. I'm not sure if you made it through investing, but can you explain how you accumulated that amount and how long did it take? Yeah, I've mentioned that I made $100,000. Well, I think the number one generator for me is just your job, right? So I think if you can find a career where it's very lucrative, right? And that could be in multiple of fields. In my case, I went into tech sales, right? So you can think about enterprise software sales or traditional telecom or some sort of hardware sales. That was a very lucrative job for me. That is the industry I'm in. So from there, what I do is I try to save the vast majority of my money, in which case I try to make very large concentrated bets in specific stocks that fit a certain criteria. And that specific criteria is growing their earnings or compounding out their annualized growth rate at least 25% plus quarter over quarter. I look for the same thing, 25% compounded annualized growth rate in their revenues. High return on equity, you're looking for 25% in its ROE or return on equity. And also you want to look at very, very high pre-tax and after-tax margins, right? So a lot of these stocks, if you model them based on that criteria, those tend to be the stocks that go up over time. You can think about your Apple, your Alphabets, your Meta or your Facebook, Microsoft, Alphabet, things like that. You want to look for solid fundamental companies. But the first thing you want to look for is what career can I go into that's going to garner me a very lucrative salary going forward. And then what you want to do is you want to take those earnings and make very, very large bets in specific investments. Hey, Sarah G is here. What's up, Sarah G? Lou G says, such an iconic place, beautiful, the Plaza. I agree, Lou G. Hunter Butler's here, says, hey, Tom. What's up, Hunter? Good to see you. Soho says, Tom, the Steinway Tower will be in the Metaverse. You'll be able to live there digitally. Yeah, probably. Eddie says, don't slip away, Tom. I won't, Eddie. Good to see you, though. JQ Atlas says, be careful, Tom. Slippery spots. It is extremely slippery here tonight. Western Mass Dave says, cool building, the Steinway. Good to see you, Western Mass Dave. And everybody. But Alex G, that's what I would say. Number one, you got to focus on what is going to generate you the most income in your life. And maybe that's your job. Maybe you work in tech. Maybe you are a doctor or a nurse or something. I would focus on that and then saving your money and then making very concentrated bets in a very few amount of investments. It's sort of like what Warren Buffett says. If you can put all your eggs in one basket, but you really just have to watch that basket. Hey, 004 says, I live in the penthouse at 432. Ah, very cool. I think I see you in there, 004. I think you're right there. Right there. Hey, Stephen T says, or is that something like would be in mutual funds, would be investing for another person? So Stephen T, usually mutual funds are actively managed like portfolios. So they'll usually have a mutual fund manager and a co-manager. The only thing you really have to worry about in mutual funds, you really have to watch out for the egregious fees or the management fees. A lot of the times they'll charge like a 2% management fee. And if they're not outperforming the overall market, well, then you're probably going to be paying too much for that management. So I would watch out for that. Thiago's here, says hello, Tom. Good to see you. Hey, Clint says hello, Thomas. Good to see you, Clint. Matthew says, hey, Tom, what's up, bro? Trinidad in the house again. AP says, say hello to my wife. Hold on. Juanita. Hello, Juanita. Good to see you. Jamie Price says, do you own any Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies? Yeah, so the only cryptocurrencies I own is Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think you have to be really, really careful when investing in cryptocurrencies because there's a lot of nefarious activity in the space, but I do see a lot of value in that space over the next coming years, for sure. Vinny Castellano says, do you think the Russia and Ukraine trouble will affect the market? So me personally, I don't, but what you're probably going to see is a lot of headlines next week from the Wall Street Journal, from Barron's and all the big financial media, you know, really, really hyping up this Russia-Ukraine tension. And I really think it's all nonsense, in my opinion. Hey, Mike C says, yep, Tom, agree. I got to keep the fees low. Yeah, so there's a really good book by Jack Bogle. And Jack Bogle was the former founder and CEO of the Vanguard Group. He unfortunately did pass away. But that's one of the main things he said throughout all of his years doing research and hiring a lot of people at Vanguard. He said what they found is if you can just keep your fees really, really low and just let compounding take over, you know, you're probably going to do okay down the line. Penelope says, oh my, I have so much to learn. My head is spinning. Penelope, how is everything in Tennessee? So everybody, just to recap, so the Chinese authorities did approve the AMD Xilinx takeover. That is very good, but in bad news, NVIDIA is probably going to abandon its bid to buy chipmaker ARM, right? And ARM, SoftBank has investments in ARM, but due to regulatory challenges in the United States, Europe, and China, you know, NVIDIA is probably going to can that deal, which is a little bit disappointing. You know, we actually spent a whole stream talking about that deal, but you know, that could be a whole other topic for a whole other stream, talking about why they're running into regulatory hurdles with that. But you know, that will be a topic for another stream. But speaking of Apple, we are right outside the Apple store. Apple reported a great quarter last week. They actually reported their highest revenue quarter on record. Over $120 billion in just revenue alone in the quarter. Really phenomenal. 58% of that revenue accounts for iPhone sales. So a whole lot of revenue from Apple is accounting from services and other things. Hey, Bitsmag TV, it's good to see you. How are you? Bernard Friedman says, hey, Tom, how you doing tonight? I'm doing good, Bernard. Always a pleasure to see you. Isis says, hey, Tom, I'm from Brazil. Hello and good night. Good to see you. And if you look straight ahead, you could actually see the very top of the Empire State Building. It looks like it's bright red tonight. I'm not sure why it's bright red, but we'll find out. Bitsmag TV says the Steinway Towers is a big problem for residents. The claims include millions of dollars of water damage and plumbing. So I think that was for 432 Park Avenue. But when I used to live at 106 Central Park South, the road was always closed because the crane kept falling off the top of 157. So really crazy. I'm not sure if does anybody remember that? The crane that was on top of the crane that was on top of the Steinway building kept falling off onto the street. Hey, Smee Media says, Tom, any horse-drawn carriages out tonight? I don't think so tonight because it's too cold. They're probably gonna get frostbite. Hey, Stan is here. Hey, Stan. Good to see you. Okay, I'll give you guys one more view of Billionaires Row. You can check it out. But Bitsmag TV, it's good to see you. I hope you had a good weekend. Hope you were able to rest up. Lou says, is the book you were referencing to called DIY Financial Advisor? No, so it's called Common Sense Investing by Jack Bogle. Common Sense Investing by Jack Bogle. And that will really go into detail about management fees on Wall Street and the history of management fees and the history of the fee income for mutual fund managers on the street. Very good book. Hey, Sarah G says, I am probably getting a desktop computer, for example. Nice. Sarah G says, what products is everybody in the chat buying in the next 6 months? Oh, so Sarah, for me, I actually already ordered an iMac, but that was probably back in October. And it took very, very long for me to get my new iMac because of the global semiconductor shortage. Now, if everybody remembers, Apple actually came out and announced that they are producing their new M1 chip in-house, right? So Apple is taking that in-house. The new M1 chip that is going to be deployed in all the new iMacs will be made by Apple exclusively. But that's a good question. What about you, Sarah D? Yeah, that's also another good book. Phil Fisher is a legendary money manager on Wall Street. And he wrote a book before he passed away called Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by Phil Fisher. Phenomenal, phenomenal book. Time lapse is yes, Tom. The M1 is faster than the i7. Time lapse. I have the computer in my house. It is so fast. It is so fast. Mike C says, does the new iMac stay in New York or Florida? It's down in Florida right now. Helen says, can you see yourself becoming a licensed financial guy? I don't really want to take that route. I want to stay in tech. I don't want to manage other people's money. I mean, maybe really far down the road, but I think now I really enjoy working in the technology industry. But that's just my take. Hey, Joe Hernandez is here. Says, hi, Tom. Congratulations on 11,000 subscribers. Hey, thank you, Joe. And it's good to see you, and I hope you had a great weekend. Ooh, man, it's so slippery here. I got to go like 2 miles an hour. Hold on one second. 004 says, how much do you make per year, and are you a programmer? So I am not a programmer. I am in the sales. So I'm on the sales side. So you can, in my previous company, I was a major account executive, or as they call it, enterprise account executive. So my job was to sell products and services into the enterprise suite. So I was mainly selling electronic visit verification software, as well as different SD-WAN products to healthcare companies. So you could think of the largest home healthcare agencies, hospitals, and nursing homes. But in, I would say, low to mid six-figure range. Hey, Estelle, good to see you. I hope everybody had a good weekend. So now we are walking downtown on 5th Avenue. But I just want to do a quick recap. I want to point out, everybody, next week, Alphabet parent company Google, ticker symbol GOOGL, reports its Q4 earnings late Tuesday. So Tuesday's stream is going to be dedicated solely to Alphabet Google. And a lot of analysts on Wall Street are expecting earnings per share of about $27.64. And that is going to be up 24% year over year. A slight earnings deceleration, but I think that's okay. And we'll talk about why in a minute. I believe gross revenue is going to be up about 25%. I think on the high side, they're estimating about 30%. But the vast majority of analysts on Wall Street are predicting right about a 25% revenue increase. And the vast majority see $72.2 billion in net revenue, which is insane. I mean, think about that, a quarterly revenue of $72.2 billion as we are looking at the beautiful St. Regis Hotel. Hey, Jimmy Anderson is here. Says, hey, cheers, my dude, Chiefs lost. Jimmy Anderson, good to see you. ZPR509 says, wow, all that melted. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it did. I mean, if you think about in the city, I think there's a lot more traffic than there is out on Long Island. So that's probably why there is a lot more. Hey, time lapse says, Tom, got a question. Why is GOOGL equals voting rights worth less than GOOG? No voting rights. I think it may be the other way around. But that's why you'll see, so essentially what time lapse is saying, everybody, is if you say, oh, I want to buy Google stock, right? There's two ticker symbols. It could be GOOG or GOOGL. They're the same exact company. The only difference is the voting rights that they carry, okay? And that's why you'll see one particular stock trading at a slight premium to the other. So let's say if you had, stock XYZ and then stock XYZ, one of them would carry more voting rights, in which case it would trade at a little bit of a higher premium, so you would just pay a little bit more for that. Hopefully that explains it. Vinny Castellano says, Tom, has ZI reported earnings yet? So ZoomInfo has not reported earnings yet. But speaking of ZoomInfo and Google, ZoomInfo actually just signed a big deal with Google to be able to integrate their ZoomInfo analytics onto their Google Cloud platform. Ken Kramer says AMD, Nvidia, Qualcomm, all three at big discounts right now. Yeah, and they're all reporting earnings this week, Ken, which is kind of crazy. So now we are outside of the Microsoft store. Ticker symbol MSFT. But one of the major things we need to look out for with Google is the cloud computing revenue is expected to come in at $5.44 billion. I think it's going to come in a little bit higher than that just based upon Microsoft's earnings alone. So I think, I wouldn't be surprised if Google reported that it topped $6 billion in cloud computing revenue. And obviously the platform we are on, everybody, YouTube. So YouTube advertising revenue is seen coming in at $8.8 billion. So you and me help out with that. We stream on YouTube all the time. So the advertisers love the Walks in Wall Street channel. Just kidding. Penelope says, good explanation, Tom. Thank you, Penelope. So maybe some people don't know that, but Google does own YouTube. So that is one of the metrics that a lot of analysts on the street will track, is YouTube advertising revenue. And I am very bullish on the YouTube platform going forward. I think there's going to be more new innovative content creators that in case will in turn drive that advertising revenue. Sunshine after rain, says Tom, LOL. I know. So Ken Kramer, so everybody check out Ken Kramer's comment. Ken says, imagine Google bought YouTube for $1 billion. What a steal. Sarah G says, YouTube is huge. Hey, Kings9966 says, sadly, YouTube has become very political. Yeah, so you actually make a really good point there, Kings. That is a real big criticism for big tech right now, is the censorship. Hey, Tom M says, hey, Tom M from Ohio. Awesome, visited New York in the late 80s. A couple NYPD guys got me into Studio 54. Awesome, Tom M. That's awesome. So Tom is in Ohio, which is great because Intel actually just announced, I believe, a $20 billion investment into Ohio. Was that Intel, everybody? It's so cold, I'm getting like a little bit of brain fog, but I believe that was Intel. Hey, we see Wolf Theta here. Hello, Wolf Theta. Cosmo says, TikTok is now the most popular video web/app. Yes, Cosmo, you're right. So as Cosmo Scary said, TikTok is now the most downloaded application on the internet. Isn't that crazy? And I've never used TikTok once. Hey, Dan M says, hey, Tom, listening to your stream while back testing a strategy. Ooh, keep us updated on that, Dan M. So Dan, are you using TradeStation or sort of what are you using for that? Bianca M says, Tom, you keep me entertained. Tom M says, yes, Intel in Ohio, sir. Awesome. Well, congratulations on that deal. I think that's going to bring about a lot of jobs. So very, very happy about that. Hey, Jonathan Richards here says, hello, Tom. Hope you've had a great weekend. I did today. I took it easy today. Honestly, I just took it easy today. Caught up on some reading, some editing. But thank you, sir. Appreciate it. To our pal, Jonathan Richards. JM says, bigger steal than what Meta paid for Instagram. Ooh. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I'm not sure about that. Hey, Brett S is here, says hello. Donnie is here. Good to see you. Sarah G says, I've never used it either, but need to start it from a creator's perspective. Yeah, I keep saying the same thing, but I could never ever force myself to use TikTok. Hey, Roy S is here, says hi, Tom. What's up, Roy? Hey, Sean. Sean is watching from Trinidad. What's up, Sean from Trinidad? Dan M says, I'm using TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. Very cool. So I'm assuming you're playing around with some derivative strategies there. Very cool. Please keep us up to date on how that goes. Hope you're very successful with that. Hope you make a lot of money. So anybody who's really owned options, even if the stock probably moved inverse of your direction, you probably actually made money over the past couple of weeks, because one of the biggest things that go into options pricing is the volatility, right? And the VIX has gone to Mars. So you probably got a little bit of a premium hike there. Hey, Alexis Garcia is here. Says, hi, Tom. How much do you walk in the stream? So that's a good question. We usually, honestly, I'd probably say anywhere from like 3 to 5 miles. Probably, no, maybe more than that. Some nights I think we could probably break 8 miles. What do you guys think? When we used to skateboard around the city, I think the record was 30 miles in one night. So this is St. Patrick's Cathedral. Very beautiful. Hey, Mana D is here. How are you? Good to see you, Mana D. Mana is joining us, and she is a social worker. We appreciate that. We always need good social workers in this world, so thank you for everything that you do. Hey, Brett S says, we are finally reported to get 6 to 10 inches of snow in Illinois. No problem. When it drifts the highways here, we drive our 4-wheel drives right through it. Awesome. Yeah, we definitely don't have those type of skills here in Midtown Manhattan. Everybody freaks out and stays inside. Hey, Horatio Snipes is here. What's up, Horatio? Cosmo Scary says, Tom, you should do a surfing stream. Maybe we will when we're back in Miami. So now we are standing right outside of the Saks Fifth Avenue, overlooking 30 Rock, Rockefeller Center. Hey, Daryl is here, says, good evening from Chicago, Illinois. Charlie Richardson says, hey, Tom, how's the weather tonight? It's very cold tonight. Mike says, check your steps in your health app on your iPhone. You know what? I think I have to do that. I don't think I've done that yet. Hey, Kashmir Funk says, just passing through. Question, what camera are you using? So we always stream on an iPhone 11. Yeah, Penelope says about 8 or 9 miles walking, double that with the wounded knee. So maybe we will take a little bit of a trip over there to Grand Central Station. Hey, Larry Astrostar says, hey, Tom, did you see the big snowball fight in Washington Square Park yesterday? I did. That was YG, about everybody battling it out in the one and only Washington Square Park. All right, just let me cross the street here. Very slippery. Give me 1 minute. I always like to, every time it's, because the thing is, a lot of the snow melted today, right? But during the nighttime, it refreezes over. So when the cars go fast up to the red lights, it's almost impossible for them to stop. So I don't want them to run the red light and clock me to the ground. Larry says, it's so great to see so many people out. Having fun, I agree. I agree. Hey, running at altitudes is a 2-hour walk at a relaxed pace is around 6 miles. Good to see you running at altitude. So everybody, check out that view of the Empire State Building. It's bright red tonight, it looks great. Hey, does anybody know why the Empire is red tonight? Hey, Cashmere Funk says this live stream is so relaxing. Thank you. Horatio Snipes says, Tom, is corporate law a lucrative career in New York City? Yeah, I would say so. I'm not too familiar with it, Horatio Snipes, so I can't really advise on it. But I would assume so, if like you're a corporate lawyer or something like that. I would assume that's probably pretty rewarding. Yeah, nothing like slipping/sliding on black ice. Mercy M says Valentine's Day. Oh, it could be. Sabrina Ferris says, Tom, it's for the American Heart Association. Very cool. Oh, NBF says the Chinese New Year. You're right. So the Chinese are ringing in the Lunar New Year. And next week could cause big supply chain disruptions. I was reading about it today in Barron's because all of the factories and everything are going to be shut down for the week, as well as the Chinese markets. But I think there's going to be a lot of celebrations here in New York City, probably in Chinatown. It's going to be amazing. Hey, Jenny G says, Tom, the Empire is red tonight in honor of the Chinese Lunar New Year. Very cool. Hey, Miss Nomi says, you go to the outer boroughs. There's snow everywhere. Manhattan is cleaned up ASAP. Yeah, I kind of thought about that. I think you're right. I'm from Long Island and the snow is crazy out there. Hey, JB says, the year of the tiger. Good to see you, JB. And also, everybody, I was reading an article that a lot of the factories are going to be shut down in China for the Olympics. Yes, for the Olympics, the Chinese have been running their factories like crazy because they know that they need to shut down the factories for the Olympics because they don't want there to be any smog or anything like that. But happy Chinese New Year to everybody. So Chinatown is probably going to be absolutely gorgeous this week with all the celebrations. I think, well, last night we were actually in Chinatown, and as you guys saw, absolutely beautiful in Chinatown. Hey, Carol H is here. Says, hi, everybody. Happy Chinese New Year. What's up, Carol? Carol, we were just doing a quick earnings forecast on the channel. It's going to be a big week for semiconductors. AMD is reporting, Qualcomm, as well as Intel. And the number one and only Google, Alphabet, is also reporting, as well as PayPal. I always like to throw PayPal in there because it reminds me of Elon Musk. Big fan of Elon Musk. Hey, Bob says, Tom, great video. Do you use a gimbal? So I do use a gimbal. At least most of the time, but sometimes it dies on us, and then we have to turn into a Twitch stream. Hey, Mimi, good to see you. NBF says, you're the tiger. Yeah, Mike C says, the world supply chain can't catch a break. Hey, Matthew, thank you for the $2 donation. Says, what is the temperature? Well, Matthew, I believe it's right around 20 degrees, I want to estimate. Hey, Demir says, greetings from Croatia. Hello, Demir, good evening. Miss Naomi, New York City, says, what's your thoughts on Netflix stock? Great question, Naomi. Great question, and I'll tell you why. So we were talking about this the other day on the stream, and Netflix got hammered. Netflix got clocked last week on Wall Street, down about 20%. But here's some encouraging news. So obviously Netflix, a Reed Hastings company, billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman actually came out with an investor letter, which you can view on his Twitter. So if you go to Twitter and search up Bill Ackman, you'll be able to read the newest Pershing Square investor letter. And they disclosed that they just bought a ton of Netflix. And Bill Ackman thinks that this is going to be a very big buying opportunity, that the stock is down 20%. And to use his words, not mine, he says this is an unbelievable buying opportunity for Pershing Square, and we are very bullish on Netflix and Reed Hastings. So I personally do not own Netflix, but there's a very notable hedge fund manager right here in New York that just made a big bet. Hey, Spooky's here, says, what's on your left? We are walking down Fifth Avenue, but this is the brand new One Vanderbilt building right here. Sarah G says, it was huge during quarantine. I don't know how it could get bigger than that. Yeah, so Sarah G, you make a really good point. So there's one thing on Wall Street, especially when you're looking at earnings, it's called your comps, so your comparable results. And obviously, you know, the stay-at-home stocks like Netflix, DocuSign, Zoom, they're all coming up on extremely hard comps, right? Because how can you beat a quarter when everybody was buying Netflix because they were sitting home during a pandemic, right? So your comparables are going to be really hard to beat. So Sarah, I think you made a really good point there. A really good point. Hey, Lou G says, wow, Tom, Bill Ackman purchased more than 3.1 million shares of Netflix. Yeah, once that stock got hammered, down 20%, you know, and I think it was the highest volume day in the stock's history. Bill Ackman, let's just say he moved a crazy amount of size and bought that hard. So we'll see. I mean, Bill Ackman's a smart guy, very respected manager on the street, very controversial manager on the street, but nonetheless. So everybody, this is the Stephen Schwarzman building, the New York Public Library right here on 42nd Street and 5th Avenue. And as we always say, Stephen Schwarzman is another titan on Wall Street. And he made the vast majority of his money in LBOs, or leveraged buyout deals. And I think Stephen Schwarzman just came out with a phenomenal book. And if you want to read it, please check out Stephen Schwarzman. Hey, Matthew says, what do you think of AMD before earnings? With the $2 super chat. Thank you, Matthew. So Matthew, I don't really advise on like what do I think of this stock before earnings in terms of like a buy or a sell. But what I will tell you is this. I am very bullish in the next 5 to 10 years on the semiconductor space as a whole. And the reason for that is because if we look at all of the new products and services that are going to be built in the new world, all of them require semiconductors, right? You think about EVs, you think about smartphones, tablets, computers, you know, even dishwashers, really anything you could think about, they require chips. And we were actually discussing an article not too long ago on the stream that in your average EV, it uses almost 2,000 chips as opposed to 950 or maybe a little bit less in a regular non-EV. So the demand is there. The only issue that we have for 2022 is that we have a completely unbelievably messed up supply chain, and we're dealing in a global semiconductor shortage right now. So on tomorrow's stream, I'm actually going to link in the description an unbelievable article that was written by Investors Business Daily outlining all of the problems and the bottlenecks in the supply chain, more specifically geared towards the semiconductor shortage. Hey, Tariq says, yes, lithium also for batteries. Hey, the Aviator's here, says hi, Tom. How are you, Aviator? Bit of Wander is here. Good to see you, a bit of Wander. Hey, Mercy M says, thank you for pointing the camera up once in a while. It's great to see those tall buildings. This is Mercy M. So let's take a look at the Chrysler building here. One of my favorite buildings in the city. And if we go up even more, this is the brand new One Vanderbilt. Nookie 420 Bob Marley says, thanks for the shout out, no problem. Hey, Crystal says, Sephora, my favorite store. JJ says, nice walks, thanks. Hey, JJ, absolutely love your profile picture, the New York Stock Exchange with the American flag. Love that. Love that, JJ. So here we are walking past CIBC World Markets as well as the PwC, or Price Waterhouse Cooper building, right here in Midtown. Hey, Chris Beeman is here. Says, hello everybody, how you doing? What's up, Chris? Hey, Sir Pang says, Tom, thanks for audition in English. You have a clever and clear speech. I'm going to bed, everybody. Hey, thank you for joining and thank you for the compliment. Appreciate it. Hope you had a great weekend. Quinn FTBL says, hi from Wisconsin, Tom. I have been watching from the beginning and have never joined the chat. Time to jump in. Love all you guys. Hey, that's awesome, dude. Well, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you joining the streams, watching the content, and we're very happy to have you. So I think we're going to take a little bit of a break in Grand Central Station just so we can warm up a little bit. So we'll take a little bit of a walk around. I mean, only if you guys approve, of course. Hey, Ramsey says, hi, what's up, Tom? Hello, guys. Hey, Ramsey. Tom M says, where were you when the towers got hit? So I was in school, but I was very, very young. You know, I was born in 1995, so I was really, really young to, you know. Hey, Sarah Jesus, please. Hey, nice 95 Eagle or Glee. This is first time watching. This landed in my recommendations, and I'm loving it so far. Hey, awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here, and I'm glad we crossed paths as we are standing outside the one and only Grand Central Station here, as well as Pershing Square. And we were just talking about Pershing Square all of 5 minutes ago when we were discussing Bill Ackman, the hedge fund manager that just bought a whopper position in Netflix after the stock was down about 20%. Brandy says, hello from Illinois. Not bad here. Upper 30s. Awesome. Hey, Matthew says, love the Big Apple. What's up, Matthew Black? Good to see you. Says, hello from India. So we have a lot of viewers. We have a lot of viewers from India on the stream, and we are actually going to be doing a dedicated stream about India probably on Wednesday. So I'm very bullish on the Indian economy. We are going to talk about that. Hey, Brett S says, Tom, this is the best stream of New York City. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate you. Nookie 420 Bob Marley says, anybody enjoying a feed of lobster after the storm surge. I wish. Sabrina Fair says, I really want to visit India. I do too. Once all this COVID stuff blows over, I'm probably going to visit. Hey, the DIY guys. Howdy from Tennessee. Love visiting. Hey, DIY guy. Kim Grant says, hey, everybody. What's up, Kim? Chris says, hi from Virginia. What is up, Chris? Sunshine Daydreams has thought he was near 40 years old. Bill Ackman, I think Bill Ackman's a little bit older than that, isn't he? I mean, he looks like a really young guy, but he could be. Could be. I'm not sure. I'll have to Google that. Does anybody know how old Bill Ackman is? Hey, Daniel is here. Says hi, Tom. Good to see you. Ooh, everybody look at this. Gross. Hills says hi from Montgomery, California. All right, we're gonna go inside Grand Central. Man, it is cold out there, my God. Hey, Rob O'Donnell says hi from Quincy, Massachusetts. 30 inches of snow here, my gosh. God bless you. Sarah G says 55 years old, Ackman. Monadee says, Tom, thank you for the ASMR snow slush. Okay, so this is inside Grand Central. Carol H says Bill is 55. So, I mean, Carol, Bill Ackman looks fantastic for 55. All right, enough about Bill Ackman. He's probably watching like you guys are obsessed. Okay, so now we are in Grand Central Station. Yeah, 55, that's young. Sunshine after rain, agreed. Sunshine after rain says Tom is obsessed, I think. So funny. Okay, so this is the inside of Grand Central Station. Horatio Snipes says Bill Ackman is a subscriber. You never know. You never know. Bill Ackman's more than welcome here if you would like. More than welcome. So here we see the mighty bull. Hey, Sierra C says, what is the most snow you've ever experienced? I'd say probably over 3 feet. I'd say over 3 feet of snow. Hey, Lisette F says, hello from much warmer Colorado. Go figure. So it's funny, my good friend actually just came back from a ski trip in Colorado, and he loved it. Hey, George says, I'm a fireman from Brazil. Hey, well, thank you for all of your service. We support firemen and police officers here, so thank you for everything you do. So now that we covered Alphabet, let's briefly cover the semiconductor sector that is reporting this week. So AMD, Qualcomm report on Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively, as we are overlooking the beautiful, beautiful clock here in the middle of Grand Central Station. Hey, Shot by Scott says, good evening, Tom, and good evening, Wall Street. Walks in Wall Street fam. What's up, Scott? Scott is a fellow streamer from Southern Florida, beautiful Southern Florida. I'll give you guys a look at the chandeliers. So one of the most notable things to look for in AMD's earnings report is we really want to look for that market share, or if AMD is gaining market share in the PC market. So when AMD reports, the main line item, in my opinion, that everybody should be looking for is the PC and the data centers. Let's see if they're gaining any market share there. But I know for a fact that last year, Samsung, for the first time, I think since 2018, actually overtook, I think, Intel for being the biggest dominator in the semiconductor space. So in 2021 alone, global semiconductor revenue jumped 25% to $585 billion. And this was really supported off the back of the big 5G rollout. So a lot of 5G smartphones have to have all new integrated chipsets in them. But that's explosive growth. That's really, really explosive growth. And that's why I'm still bullish on semis. Hey, Talfish is here. Good to see you. George says, I love it when it snows. 48 says, hi, Tom. Very nice building. So 48 is joining us from New Zealand. Always a pleasure to have you here. Pickin' Weeds says, Tom, didn't Paul McCartney perform in Grand Central Station a few years ago? I'm actually not sure about that. Does anybody have a video? I'd love to see that. TJ67 says, I spent many years commuting from Connecticut on the Metro North. Nice to see Grand Central Station again. Beautiful, beautiful station here, in my opinion. IC86 says, I served in West Germany. We had 3 feet of snow with 6-foot drifts. Wow. That's crazy. That's too much snow for me. Miss Bash says, Tom, have you ever thought about becoming a teacher? You communicate like one, like you stay on topic. Probably not. I don't think I would do well in that environment. I don't think I would make a good teacher. Hey, hi from Guyana. Welcome everybody. Good to see everybody. So check out the stained glass windows in here. Hey, Juan Vargas is here. Says hi from Costa Rica. What's up, Juan? Nookie 420 Bob Marley. Says amazing resolution. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Bianca M says it's epic there. Yeah, I really like Grand Central Station, in my view. Hey, Tech Lovins is so grand. So they finally opened up the Hudson newsstand here. This has been closed since the pandemic. Hey, Cypher says cool. What's up, Cypher? Oh, wow. O2 says, I've done construction on that building. It's a crazy place. Awesome. We have a lot of viewers that are construction workers. My uncle is in Local 14, so the Union of Operating Engineers. Larry says, you make a great teacher, Tom. You're knowledgeable and passionate about your topics. Well, thank you for that. So now we are walking through the main concourse once again. And I'll step over to the side and I'll show everybody the ceiling. Tech Lovin says, this reminds me of Central Station in Scotland. Very cool. So we're looking at the mighty bull right here in front of us. Penelope says, are you kidding me? You'd be a great teacher, Tom. Thank you, Penelope. I just don't know if that's something I would want to do. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, CS says, looks good without the rush. I agree. Hey, Shot by Scott says, Tom, how'd you make out with the snow on Long Island? So there's definitely a lot more snow on Long Island than there is in the city. It's probably because usually when we get northeasterners, the vast majority of the snow gets dumped on eastern Long Island. Crazy says, Tom, what was the worst job you ever had? I used to deliver pizzas, and that was not fun. Scott says, how about the Secret Tennis Club in Grand Central Station? I've never heard of the Secret Tennis Club there. But they did used to have a big squash tournament right here. I'll show everybody. Hey, Juan says, hello, Tom. Is the correction over? Or should we expect more volatility? Well, I mean, I think the VIX topped out at what? High 30s? So Juan, if you check your email, I did just send out the Behind the Street newsletter, which goes a little bit more into detail about some of the factors that I look for. So if anybody wants to sign up to read the free financial newsletter, if you type !news, NEWS in the chat, the Nightbot will drop the link to the Behind the Street newsletter. Horatio Snipes says Tom Barclays was a tenant in the MetLife building. I never knew that. Were they really? I never knew that. Good to see you, Horatio Snipes. Love the ceiling here. Roy S. says, great cartoon pic in the community page, Tom. Having coffee while educating us on finance. Yeah, so I'm thinking about putting that up as a stream, a 24-hour continuous stream with lo-fi music. We'll see. I'm undecided on if we'll do that yet. Hey, I see Kevin Lee here. Says, good evening, 904 Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center in Brooklyn. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you. David says, what's going to happen exactly, Tom, once the Federal Reserve starts hiking interest rates? So, that's a good question. My honest answer is I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't think anybody knows exactly what's going to happen. But we heard from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell this week at the FOMC meeting. And Jerome Powell, you know, he was sort of, let's just say he was sort of stern, I would say. He said, in March, we're probably going to raise interest rates and we're going to continue to taper, in which case they will not buy any more mortgage-backed securities or U.S. Treasuries, thus providing liquidity to the market. But there's one really interesting thing that I think we all need to look at, and that is we really just need to pay attention to the Federal Reserve's balance sheet. And even though Jerome Powell and all the other cronies at the Federal Reserve have been talking about tapering, if you look at the actual balance sheet, the balance sheet has been going gangbusters to Mars. So I'm not really too sure what they're talking about in relation to tapering, but what I think is that the market has already accounted or discounted the rate hikes, right? We've seen a correction in many of the big growth stocks. The very high beta growth stocks are already down 50, 60, 70%. So usually markets move before the news, at least in my view. So what I think is probably going to happen is in March, the Federal Reserve is probably going to raise interest rates, but the market actually probably should respond favorably. That's what I think. Hey, we have a lot of people from Brazil here. Welcome everybody from Brazil. Bianca M says, hey Tom, congratulations on 11,000. Thank you. All right, back into the cold. One Vanderbilt. And she says, you don't make any interest on your money if you have less than $60,000 in the bank account. Well, I think that I would never advise to leave a lot of money in a bank, because factoring in for inflation, you know, you're probably losing money. And that's why, you know, I've always argued that the Federal Reserve is not looking out for the middle class. If anything, the Federal Reserve has done more to destroy the middle class than any entity, because their policies of artificially low interest rates and money printing does nothing but rob the purchasing power from the middle and the lower class. But we've talked about this ad nauseum on the stream, but I agree. Hey, British Gray is here. Says, good Sunday evening, Tom. What is up, British Gray? Good to see you from Tampa, Florida. Hey, Dawn is here. Says, hi from Florida. What's up, Dawn? So check this out. This building right here is 432 Park Avenue. Hey, Lockjaw is here. Says, hey, Tom, stay warm and safe. Thank you, Lockjaw. Appreciate it. Hey, Natasha says, hello, Tom. How are you? Vink says good vibes. Thank you, Vink. George Lopez, good to see you. Jerry, what's up? All right, let's walk up by the Yale Club. And this is actually where Jeff Bezos spends some time when he's in New York City, right here at the Yale Club. But essentially the issue that I have with the Federal Reserve is the inflation that they create. It doesn't really have any harm on people in the top 10%, I'd say. More specifically in the top 1%, because it's very easy for them to adjust and actually overcome their hurdle rate, right? As I like to call it, the hurdle rate. But people that are working class, they don't own many assets, right? So their inflation, a lot of their net worth is actually tied up, either in their savings account or their checking account. PI print of 7%. So that means if you had money sitting around in a checking or savings account and it didn't grow by 7%, you lost purchasing power. But the vast majority of people that are in the top 10% or the top 1%, they own assets. You could think about equities, you could think about real estate, and all of those things have gone up well in excess of 7%. So it does nothing but exacerbate the wealth divide in America. CL says agreed. What's up, CL? Good to see you. Obama says the Yale Club. Yes, right here. Jeff Bezos sometimes comes here, hangs out. Christy says hi, how are you? Got some snow, looks like slushy goodness here. It is. Andre's here. What's up, Andre? Yeah, that's a good question. So David says, was asking a question about the midterm elections. And as we know, in a midterm election year, usually U.S. equities are either flat to down. But I think we could see a big shift. I think a lot of people are going to vote, let's just say, very differently than they did before. So it should be interesting. A midterm election year, expect volatility. One Vanderbilt building, beautiful here. Hey, Mark says, hey, Tom from Nashville, Tennessee. Enjoying your intelligent, positive, and kind conversation. Hey, Mark, thank you. So, Mark, we also have another viewer from Tennessee here, Penelope. We actually have a lot of people from Tennessee here, so welcome. Hey, Stephen T says, Tom, personally, I think the lending rate should be probably 13%. Blair says, Manhattan, where the evil democratic scientists... I can't read that one. Sierra C says, I love the snow until it gets brown and dirty. Well, I think we're just at that stage right now, unfortunately, Sierra. And she says, so 100,000 in the bank is no good. I mean, I think you just really have to, and this is the problem with artificially low interest rates. Because when interest rates are artificially low, what it does, it creates an environment where people have to search for yield. So people are searching for yield. They're like, if I leave my money in the bank, it's going to yield nothing. So it forces me to go into alternative assets. It forces me into the equities market. It forces me into the real estate market so I can get a return on my money. And oftentimes this creates very speculative activity. So this is the brand new lobby at One Vanderbilt. I have yet to actually go in to the observatory deck. Hey, Marjan Worldwide, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Says, what's up, bro? And congratulations on 10K, 11K. Hey, thank you, Marjan. Appreciate it. Maria says, hi, Tom, from Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome, Maria, and all of our viewers from Memphis. This is the brand new lobby of One Vanderbilt. RJ says, hola, Tom from Colorado. What's up, RJ? Look at the steam coming off the top of One Vanderbilt. It almost looks blue because of the lights. And you can see the MetLife building to your right. Hey, Annie PZ says, New York looks empty tonight. Yeah, usually on Sunday nights, New York is empty, but I think that there's a big football game going on tonight. So pretty much everybody's probably inside watching football. Hey, Patricia says, hola, what is going on? Sierra C, good to see you. Is there a football game on, or is that next week? Hey, Mark says, good evening, New York. Watching you guys from Guns Village, Middle England. Very cool. Welcome from England. Hey, Fresh Start is here. What's up, Fresh Start? Fresh Start, I hope you had a great Sunday. We just did a brief earnings look ahead on the stream. We talked about a lot of the semiconductor stocks are reporting earnings, as well as Google, Alphabet. We really have to pay close attention to the YouTube advertising revenue, as well as Google's cloud computing unit, as we are looking at the beautiful Chrysler building right here. I think if I cover the light, it looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Hemp Lord says they're all in South Carolina. What's up, Hemp Lord? Good to see you. Love that username, by the way. Memo says hello from Mexico. Welcome, everybody from Mexico. Sierra C says, I hope the Bengals win. Hey, Dawn says the city looks kind of quiet. Yeah, it usually is quiet on Sundays. But is there a football game on tonight? I think there's a couple football games on tonight. Hey, Manuel says hello, greetings from Spain. Hey, Manuel, good to see you. Kashmir Funk says, yeah, the game is on right now. 17-17, all tied up. So who's playing? The Cincinnati Bengals and who else? Yeah, there's almost nobody on the road. Check it out the other side, too. This is looking directly down Madison Avenue, looking uptown. Fresh Start says, hey, Tom, can you show the Empire State Building? Yes, we will. Hey, nice guys. Right now, the Rams and the 49ers. Very cool. Clark says, good idea to cover light with your hand. Definitely improved the view of the Chrysler building. Hey, thanks, Clark. I'll have to go and check that out when I rewatch the stream. I really never rewatch the streams, but I think I want to. Nirvana 500 says, did you ever visit the Twin Towers as a kid? I mean, I was really too young. You know, I was like 5 years old. I may have went in the mall once, maybe. Hey, Jamie the Rooster says, I think there must be laws to prevent overuse of deep learning in stocks. Interesting. Good to see you. Hey, Larry says, Tom, Bengals beat KC Chiefs, Raiders versus 49ers. Wow. I thought the Kansas City Chiefs were... Don't they have that guy, Austin Mahomes or something? Mahomes something? I forget his name. But he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick. I thought he was going to win the whole thing. So now we are back on 5th Avenue. Where we could see the very top of the Empire State Building. And it is all lit up in red tonight. Elle says, wow, a good opportunity for a film crew if they were out there tonight and wanted to film an apocalyptic scene. Ah, very cool. Bianca M, how are you? Yeah, there's a little bit of black ice on the floor, a little bit. So we are going to walk towards Bryant Park and Salesforce Tower. We always take a look at Salesforce Tower on the stream. Mark Benioff, software company, specializes in customer relationship management software. Ticker symbol is CRM. Looking forward to their earnings report. Hey, Tarot says, is that the library? Yes. So this is the very famous Fifth Avenue Stephen Schwarzman building, New York Public Library. And Stephen Schwarzman, as we just pointed out, made the vast majority of his money in leverage buyout deals on Wall Street. And I would highly recommend picking up a copy of Stephen Schwarzman's book as he talks about BlackRock and Blackstone. But also, you can make an appointment in this library, in the research room in this library, to read, in my opinion, one of the greatest investment books of all time, which is called Margin of Safety. So Margin of Safety was written by Baupost Capital hedge fund manager Seth Klarman. And there was only 5,000 books ever published. And there's one right here in the research room in the New York Public Library where you can actually schedule time to read an original copy. I would highly recommend doing that because it is one of the greatest investment books of all time, focused on value investing. So obviously, as we know, there's always this sort of fight on Wall Street over value investing and growth stock investing. So I would highly recommend you check out Margin of Safety by Seth Klarman. CLG's library is awesome. Somebody says, can you do a live in Tallahassee? Maybe, if we ever get there, for sure. Absolutely. Hey, Johnny's here from Ecuador. What's up, Johnny? Good to see you. Stephen T says, in bank lending in Canada remains unchanged at 2.4% in January, from 2.4% in December 2021. Yeah, they're just giving this money away for cheap. You're right. You are right, unfortunately. Robert says, what is your professional expertise as far as stocks are concerned? So I'm just a regular retail investor. I work in the technology space. So I work in tech sales, enterprise software. But a lot of those enterprise software companies have really driven the vast majority of the growth of the S&P 500. You know, if you think about Microsoft, Facebook, Google. So I am very accustomed on how to evaluate these different companies. So I specialize in growth stock investing. So I cover a lot of the cybersecurity stocks, cybersecurity companies like CrowdStrike, Okta, Zscaler, and we just talk about investing in tech on the stream. But good to see you and hope you're having a good Sunday night. Hey, Jose. What's up, Jose Ruiz? So now we are looking at Bryant Park. It looks that they still have the Winter Village up, surprisingly. Yeah, guys, please don't ask me about getting attacked and things like that. Fresh start. We will check out the World Trade Center tonight. Sergio says, I hate summer. I love summer. I like summer a little bit more than winter, in my opinion. But now we are coming up on the Bank of America Tower here. So Bank of America Tower sits right here on 6th Avenue, Avenue of the Americas, and 42nd Street, right next to the Salesforce Tower. Nirvana Fan 500 says, I agree, summer is horrible. Disagree. Beto says summer is magic. Penelope says, I think Winter Village is packed up. You know what, we'll have to check it out. I think the vast majority of it is, but I think they did leave up, what's it called? I think they left up the ice skating rink. So this is the very front entrance to the Bank of America Tower. If you keep looking down the block, you're gonna see Times Square, 42nd Street. But here's one of the best views you're ever gonna get of the Empire State Building. Check it out. It is bright red tonight, beautiful view of the Empire State Building. Hey, Irene is here, says greetings from New Mexico. What's up, Irene? Good to see you. George Lopez is joining us. Lizzie says, let's get this video a thumbs up. Thank you, Lizzie, appreciate it. Jamie the Rooster says, London is the financial capital of the world. Unlimited stimulus says, Tom, what are your thoughts on the metaverse from an investing perspective? Well, I think from an investing perspective, you're probably going to want to get exposure to a lot of the infrastructure, right? So in my opinion, you know, I would just own Microsoft, Meta, which is, you know, formerly Facebook, Alphabet, because I think a lot of the, let's just say the infrastructure that the metaverse is going to be built upon is going to require vast amounts of cloud computing. So I'm not sure which specific applications, which specific things are going to be successful in the metaverse. So for me, in my opinion, I think it's just best to own the actual infrastructure, because there's going to be so many different companies that come out and try to compete in the metaverse, and I'm not smart enough to identify which companies that is. So I would just much rather own the infrastructure, like all the cloud computing infrastructure via AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Hey, Dell says, hello, Tom and people. Beautiful view of the Empire State Building tonight. Oh yeah, it is the Chinese Lunar New Year, which is awesome. Lizzie says, I've been with Bank of America 22 years. Got nothing. Liz, what department were you in Bank of America? Hey, Robert, good to see you. So we'll continue on our walk down here. Hey, Joshua Lopez says, how was your day, Tom? My day was really good. I took it easy today, but I did do a lot of reading. So in the very distant fresh start, and everybody, you could see the World Trade Center, which is the Freedom Tower right here. This little building right there, you can see it. But speaking of cloud computing, you know, we do have Alphabet, parent company Google, reporting earnings. On Tuesday, analysts are expecting $27.64 a share in EPS, or earnings per share. That's going to be up 24%. Gross revenue is seen up 27% to $72.2 billion. And all of net revenue minus acquisition costs are projected to be $59.39 billion. And the most important, everybody, the platform we are on right now, YouTube revenue is seen at $8.8 billion, with cloud computing revenue coming in at $5.44 billion. And I actually think YouTube revenue is going to come in way above that, in my view. I think analysts underestimate the power of YouTube. So now we are walking down 42nd Street, headed west. Namaste says YouTube ad sucks. Well, you could access YouTube via the Brave browser. And Brave, I think, will actually block all the advertisements. And I believe Brave browser was actually founded by the creator of JavaScript, Brendan Eich. And he now works on the Brave browser project with Basic Attention Token. So if anybody's familiar with JavaScript, you can think about Brendan Eich. Hey, Zenith G says an applause and an acknowledgement to the cameraman. Appreciate it, thank you. Hey, Running at Altitude says, Tom, I have YouTube Premium and there are no ads. Very cool. Hey, Emilio J says, Tom, I'm watching on the Brave browser right now and I love it. Hey, Tony Cortez is here. Sophia Farah says, hello from Brooklyn. Good to see everybody from Brooklyn. How are you? Namaste says, I'll look it up. I use Firefox. JavaScript is old. I learned in Access 101. Yeah, I'm just saying that he's the founder of JavaScript, right? It has nothing to do with JavaScript per se, but the Brave browser is a browser that does block all advertisements. And then I believe there is a cryptocurrency called Basic Attention Token, which also goes along with it. Hey, Disney cast members here. What's up, Disney? Good to see you. Says most of the snow is now gone. Thank God. Yeah, usually about a week after the major snowstorm in New York, the only thing that's left, unfortunately, is big puddles of ice water. But usually the sanitation does a pretty good job of getting everything cleaned up. Ken Glasses, thanks, Tom. Saved me the premium fee. No problem, Ken. That's my job. That is my job, my friend. Hey, Fly Girl says, no, this is not Action Kids. Sorry. No, this is not. There's still a lot of snow piles here in Times Square. Very seldom do we actually come here. Hey, David says, Tom, do you go skiing during the winter? I do not ski. Hey, William Creech, good to see you. As always, good to see you, William. Blanket says, are you on IG? Yeah, so if you look in the description of this video, you'll see all the links to, I think I put my Twitter in there, my IG if you want to see it, but I mainly just talk about finance related things. And the first link in the description is the link to the free Behind the Street newsletter that I write every single week for everybody. Almost 400 people now are signed up to read the Behind the Street newsletter, so thank you everybody for the support. I appreciate it very much. Raid Ahmed says, are we in Times Square now? We are. Irene says, love it. What's up, Irene? Hey, Fly Girl says, I just found this channel. This is a great discussion. Thank you, Fly Girl. So we usually go live about 5 days a week. During the weekdays, we have a specific financial topic. But on the weekends, we sort of just hang out and walk around. But usually Sundays, we do a market, a look ahead. And being that it is earnings season, the vast majority of semiconductor stocks like AMD and the like are reporting. But we did get some good news out of the Chinese regulators. So the AMD acquisition of Xilinx has been approved by the Chinese regulators, which is good news. So Chinese authorities did approve the AMD and Xilinx takeover. The deal could now close in early February. But the bad news is that NVIDIA is probably going to abandon its bid to take over the chip designer ARM. And you could think about ARM. I like to think about the big investment that SoftBank made in ARM. But due to regulatory concerns in the United States, Europe, and China, NVIDIA is probably going to can the deal, unfortunately. But hey, JB says New York's finest blessed them for their service. Absolutely. Big support for the NYPD on this channel. I did go to John Jay College of Criminal Justice, so I did go to a criminal justice school. Whoop-de-woo, good to see you. Fresh Start says, Tom, can you zoom up to the H&M building? I'll show you guys real quick. So you're probably going to be able to see the H&M building right behind the NASDAQ. So this is the NASDAQ. And then Fresh Start for you, this is the H&M building. But right here is where they dropped the ball in Times Square. Right here. Cashmere Funk says Rams are going to the Super Bowl this year. Mispronounces Rams intercepted the ball. So who is going to be the top two teams? I don't really follow football. So here we are on West 44th Street and Broadway. We are actually going to turn back around and head down to the Moynihan train station. That is where I need to get the train to go home. Running at altitude says Tom's. It's going to be the Bengals and the Rams this year. Tarot says, Tom, I hope you have some warm, waterproof boots on. That we don't, but my feet are fine. Thank God. Stephen T says, that's just way too much building for H&M. Yeah, I think there's a lot of offices in there. Hey, Pineapple Water, good to see you. Penelope, good to see you. Disney cast member, hope everything is going well in your new house. Good to have you back in New York as always. Hey, Roy S. says, Tom, I'm assuming the Long Island Railroad is already back to normal schedule. That I actually don't know. I hope it's back to normal schedule because I do have to get home. Last night I had to stay in the city because the LIRR was completely closed down for the snowstorm entirely. Sabrina Ferris says hockey is the most exciting sport. Hey, Dale Ryder says, hello, Tom. Do you have a brother who hosts the LAX, a plane spotting program? What? Do you have a brother who hosts? I don't. I do not. Sorry about that. Hey, MKC Updates says, Walks in Wall Street. Tom, what's your favorite skyscraper in New York City? That would be the Seagram building. The Seagram building is by far my favorite building in New York City, and it is on Park Avenue. Hey, Brian Cox is Canada. Swift Storm. Chris has got Cincinnati. What's up, Chris? Western Mass Dave says, Tom, this is a beautiful and clear stream. Thank you, Western Mass Dave. Look left. At the Old Navy? Hey, Ruby Falcone says, I joined late, and looky here, Times Square. Very rare for the channel, Ruby, but good to see you. But Ruby Falcone, you didn't miss too much. We just did a little bit of an earnings, a look ahead. You know, as you know, on the weekends, we usually don't have a specific financial topic, but we do have a big week coming up on Wall Street, a lot of earnings. We have all the semiconductors. So you talk about AMD, Intel is reporting, as well as Alphabet's parent company Google is reporting. And we also got some very positive news, Ruby Falcone, out of China. The Chinese authorities approved the AMD and Xilinx deal, so that is going to come and close the beginning of February. Yes, Disney cast member, that is crazy. So Disney cast member was here, I think subscriber number 4. And now we have over 10,000 people. So I appreciate everybody joining and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it very much. Irene says, be careful out there. Appreciate it. So this is the Ernst & Young, or the EY building. And Ernst & Young is a big consulting firm. You can think about KPMG, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, management consulting. Hey, Chris says, hey, Tom, is the Steak and Shake in New York still around the corner? Honestly, Chris, I've never heard of it. I cannot advise on that. 93V2 says, how is the future of T-Mobile? So I think T-Mobile is in a pretty good spot, especially after their acquisition of Sprint, because they did acquire a lot of mid-band spectrum, and that mid-band spectrum is very important to roll out a traditional 5G network. So a lot of people think about the M&A activity that happened between Sprint and T-Mobile as a mutual sort of agreement, but if you really look at the intricacies of the deal, you know, T-Mobile essentially acquired Sprint mainly for their very rich mid-band spectrum. And mid-band spectrum is the perfect bands to build out a 5G network. So I think out of all the major cell phone providers or the carriers, I am most bullish on T-Mobile as opposed to Verizon or T-Mobile. Or Verizon or AT&T. I think AT&T reported earnings last week, and they actually had a net negative subscribers number, and their revenue is actually decreasing. So as we talk about on this channel, the main parameters that we like to look for when, trying to define an investment thesis is you want to look for stocks that are growing their earnings and growing their sales, right? That is so important. So a company like AT&T has decelerating earnings and decelerating sales. So that is something you want to stay clear. Hey, War Walker. Good to see you. War Walker is joining us from the 305. What's up, War Walker? Hope you're staying warm over there in Miami. It's supposed to be 34 degrees. Juan says, good evening, Tom. Hopefully the markets make up some more gains like Friday in the coming week. We'll definitely have to see, Juan. We'll definitely have to see. Well, good to have you here. Hey, Brian Cox. Good to see you. JB says, more heroes of New York. Love those fire people and EMS. Agree with you 100%. Love the FDNY. Here's a sanitation vehicle. These guys were out all night clearing the snow. So we'll take a quick walk to Bryant Park. Jerry says raining iguanas is real. It is. Ooh, this guy looks to be stuck in the snow. Sabrina Fair, good to see you. CLG says, and do you have a dedicated source to find out where businesses are increasing their earnings? Yes, I mean, the biggest resource that's for free is just sec.gov, so the Securities and Exchange Commission website. But if there's a particular company that you're interested in, if you just go to their website and look at their investor relations page, you can actually have access to all of their earnings reports for free, and you could actually listen in on the conference calls. So for example, let's say if you own, Microsoft, if you go to the Microsoft's investor relations page, you're going to be able to join their conference calls. Hey, Tom M says, please thank the NYPD for their service. We do, Tom. A lot of my buddies are NYPD cops. I did go to John Jay College of Criminal Justice, so a lot of my buddies are cops here. Amelia J says, Tom, these iguanas you speak of, can you eat them? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that, Emilio. I'm not sure about that. These guys are out here breaking up all the ice. Michelle McGraw, good to see you. CLG says, understand they are open to the public, investors relations and conference calls. Yeah, so this stuff is all publicly available information. So for example, if you go to apple.com right now, Apple's website, and you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you'll see a little tab that says investor relations, and you'll be able to punch in your email address and they'll actually send you the conference call of the earnings report, and you can listen to the entire thing. And I think it's really important to do that because you'll actually get to hear a lot of the analysts on Wall Street asking the specific questions, right? So you'll say, at the end of the call, it'll say, hey, this Thomas Smith from Raymond James has a question, and then they ask their question. Thomas Smith from Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, whatever it is, they'll all ask questions to the chief financial officer, to the CEO. And it's really important to pay attention to those questions because if these investment banking analysts are asking these sort of questions, these are probably the questions you should be asking as well. So it's all free, all publicly available information. And I think every retail investor should definitely pay close attention to these type of things. So this is 41st Street and Broadway. All the city bikes are still covered in snow. And S is, you can eat them. They're in South Florida. Ooh, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would eat them. Hey, XXX is here. What's up, XXX? Hey, Darth Bong says, new subscriber here. I really enjoyed your walk last night. How long will you walk tonight? Be safe out there. Maybe about another hour or so. But thank you for joining. Hey, Robert Muhammad is here. Says, good evening, Tom. Are you ready for the continued volatility in the week? Yes, so Robert, that is exactly what we were talking about. You know, big earnings reports coming out of Microsoft. Microsoft reported last week. I meant to say big earnings report coming out of Alphabet, Google. So the main metric that we need to look out for is their Google Cloud unit. My twin sister says yes. A lot of close friends are NYPD cops too. Awesome. Hope you're having a good one. Hey, Tom M says Qualcomm reports on Wednesday. That they do. Hold on, I just gotta walk very slowly over these grates. Hey, Barry says hi. NYC Aviation is here. Good to see you, NYC Aviation. So one of the main reasons why I always like to pay close attention to the semiconductor sector, and we've been talking about this a lot on the streams, is because the semiconductor sector, I think, is going to have a lot of runway over the next 5 to 10 years. Hey, WW says, really love your content. This is amazing. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So if we think about semiconductors as a whole, you know, chip sales jumped 25% in 2021 alone. Global semiconductor revenue jumped to $585.5 billion. And this was really supported by the 5G smartphone market and the 5G rollout. But memory was once again the best performing device category. Samsung, yes, South Korean Samsung regained the top spot from Intel for the first time since 2018. So Samsung is one to watch. Shazad 2006 says keep doing a great job. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure what that whooping noise is. I think it's this, I think it may be this little monument here, whatever this piece of art is. Hey, Rob DeCaro, good to see you. Hey, Manny Explorers is here. What's up, Manny? Hope you had a good weekend. Manny, have you ever been to this thing over here? Stephen T says I rode my bike through that thing. Yeah, Iriva says that sounds spooky. Manny says, yeah, I walked through it. Yeah, it seems like there's always a lot of tourists there. So now we are headed southbound on Broadway, 39th Street. Hey, Patrick, New York is here. What's up, Patrick? Happy Sunday night. Hope your weekend went well. So looking across the street, this is actually a famous pizza place. It's called Artichoke Pizza. But this place right here, in my opinion, wasn't that good. Just a forewarning. I wasn't really impressed with it. And it's like $5 for a slice. A little bit of a ripoff, but so not bullish on that. We own puts on the Artichoke Pizza. Wow, so XXX says, Tom, the Dutch truckers are forming a convoy in solidarity with Canadian truckers. Wow. Yeah, somebody says it looks like they closed a lot of the streets. It does look like that. WW says puts on the pizza. Yeah, I mean, I'm bullish. We're long calls, heavy on pizza in general. But that Artichoke location, we own the 250 strike puts. Penelope says, go back, Tom, walk through it. There's a lot of tourists in that thing, and I don't really want to disturb them. with the camera here. But maybe we'll do it tomorrow, Penelope. I'll be back in Midtown tomorrow. Look at this sheet of ice here. This is an entire sheet of ice. Hey, Mark Davis is here. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. Mark says, good evening there, Tom. Hope all is well with you. Greetings from Toronto. So, Mark, I was near the one and only Central Park Dakota building. I took a video. I'm like, you know what? I gotta take a video from Mark. I was walking past it today. For everybody in the chat who doesn't know, Mark Davis is our medical marijuana expert from Canada, but he loves the Dakota building. So every time I walk past it, I always shoot him a little note. Yeah, KKK says be careful out, or XXX says be careful out there. Looks slippery. Cosmo Scary says, Tom, I love that you're out in the snow and cold despite not liking it. Good content, man. Walks in Wall Street. Thank you, Cosmo. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Cosmo, it's not that bad out tonight because it's not windy. As long as it's not windy, it's pretty nice. In India, pizza is expensive, but anyway, people eat pizza because it tastes crazy good. That is true. Hey, David says, good evening from Birmingham, Alabama. I miss Brooklyn. That is my home. What's up, David? Welcome from Birmingham, Alabama. Wow. So you moved from Brooklyn, New York to Birmingham. Very cool. Mark Davis says, thank you, Tom. Much appreciated showing the Dakota apartments today. No problem. Davika says, good morning from India. Good morning. Hope you're well. Dutchman says, Tom, Taiwan semiconductor manufacturers building their $12 billion manufacturing plant in Phoenix. Yeah, so Dutchman, we were actually just talking about Intel as well, is building, I think they're investing about $20 billion into Ohio. Jack says, ZEV is a great EV stock. Cheers, mate. I'm going to take a look at it. I've never heard of it, but I'll take a look at it. Mr. Baseball Gamer says, great video once again. I'll definitely take a look at the stock, but the only thing with me is if the company is not profitable, so if the company is not generating earnings or cash flows, I really can't bother to look at it. That's just my strict investment criteria. So the main things I look for, the company really has to be compounding out its annualized growth rate, 25% plus. So I look for EPS growth of about 25%, revenue growth of about 25%, good free cash flow, and good pre-tax and after-tax margins. And I usually like to look for anywhere around 25% plus return on equity. So to give you an example, Microsoft, I think, has about 47% return on equity, which is phenomenal. Hey, Annie PZ, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Says, Tom, you're doing a great job tonight. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate all the support on the channel. I really, really do. Thank you very much. Dale Ryder says, Tom, I think Sabrina wants some time to talk to you. She said you streamed for 10 days straight. Hey man, you could possibly. Hey, Michelle McGraw, what's going on? Good to see you. Mark Davis is, Patrick, it's warming up in Toronto. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, Sam says, Tom, what are your thoughts on Canadian banks? I don't know. I really don't have any thoughts on Canadian banks. I really don't follow them too well. The only thing I will say is, you know, usually in an interest rate rising environment, banks tend to expand their margins. So banks tend to be a little bit more profitable, but this is a great view of the Empire State Building here from Broadway, Herald Square, 34th Street. Hey, Andy is here, says hi. But Annie PZ, thank you so much. I really, really, really do appreciate the support very, very much. Hey, Andrew Lee says, what's up from Queens, Mr. Baseball Gamer? Says, are you near MSG, Madison Square Garden? We are going to be coming up on it very soon. Man, it is a mess out though. Hey, Pablo's here. What's up, Pablo? CLG says, this is my second night watching your stream, and I like it a lot. I am a tourist at heart, even though I live in Manhattan, so I love this. Hey, awesome. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here, and hopefully we see you on more streams in the future. Hey, Lil says, what's up, NYC? So this building right here is the Herald Square Towers, and this is actually where Carol H. used to live. And it has an unbelievable view of the Empire State Building. Look at the color on that, unreal. Hey, D Hornet Jacket says, I miss New York. Miss New York. Irevis, what's up, Irevis? Says, why is the Empire State Building red? Well, we think it's red for the Chinese New Year. Oh, it's not red anymore. Unfortunately, it's not red. They got to switch it back. Someone's got to tell the Empire State Building lights guy to get his act together. iPhone says, hello from Louisiana. Never been to New York, but your vlogs make me want to visit. Hey, that's awesome. We'd love to have you here. Louisiana is a great place. WW, it's the best city in the world. I think it's probably one of the best cities in the world, in my opinion, New York. So this is 34th Street, Penn Station. Actually, we have about one more block to go to get Penn Station. It's on 7th Avenue in between 8th and 7th. Ruby Falcone says, I'll get the Empire State Building guy on the phone right now. We got to get him on the phone. We got to ask him if he's out of his mind. It was beautiful red and then they changed it. We got to call him up and ask him, what are you, out of your mind? What are you doing, man? But I mean, I guess this kind of looks nice as well. What do you guys think? You like the red better, or do you like the white? Yes, CLG says no cheap apartments in Manhattan, my friend, unless you get a lottery. Hey, Mark Davis says, Tom, when are you headed to Miami? Maybe on Thursday. It looks like Thursday, Mark. Hey, Jackie, thank you so much, Jackie, for the $5 donation. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, Fly Girl is like red is better. I agree, Fly Girl. Davika from India says red is better too, Tom. D Hornet Jacket says I like red. Ooh, NMB045 says you like the blue better. I mean, the red kind of looked really unique, I think. But everybody, if you're enjoying the stream tonight, oh, these windows are beautiful here. If you're enjoying the stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'd love to see you on more live streams. Pablo says Mandela effect with the color. Hey, Cliff Dog says red was for the Chinese Lunar New Year. You're right. Hassan B says, Tom, what happened to your skateboarding? It's been a while. So we are going to bring back the skateboarding on the channel. It's just I bought a house in Miami, and then I was dealing with clients, and then it was the holidays, and it was just really, really busy and stressful for me. So I didn't have time to bring out the skateboard, but it will be back very soon. I promise. I promise. Hey, Sophia Farah, thank you so much for the $5 donations. I appreciate you very, very much. You are very, very kind. Thank you everybody who's been supporting the channel. So whatever color it is at the time, Tom, you gotta go with the flow. It's the Brooklyn way. I could get behind that. I could get behind that. Junaid says, is this really live? Could be. Yes, we are live. So we're coming up on 7th Avenue and 34th Street. Pennsylvania Station, but if we keep walking, we're gonna hit the brand new Moynihan train station, which is my personal favorite, which I think we will conclude the stream right there, because it is the warmest place to be on a night like tonight. Hey, watching from Dubai. You know, I actually had a lot of viewers email me from Dubai. So it's awesome that we have a big international audience. So thank you everybody from Dubai. SME Media says, what days do you live stream? So we usually go live about 5 days a week between New York City and Miami. Hey, Noah says, watching from Houston, Texas. Hey, there we go. We got the red back. Hey, Frank James English is hi from Detroit. What's up? Good to see you, and I hope you had a great weekend. But yes, we usually go live about 5 days a week, give or take a couple days on this channel. And we split our time 50-50 between New York City and downtown Miami. Shazad says, please come to Washington, D.C. I would love to. I would love to come to Washington, D.C. O-Star B4 says, Tom, are they tearing down the old Pennsylvania Hotel across from Penn Station? I don't think so, but I don't think that would be a bad idea either, because the Pennsylvania Hotel is a little bit dated. So maybe if they tore it down and built something a little bit newer, it'd be pretty cool. NNB 045 says, Tom, the Canadian soccer team surprisingly wins to get close to the World Cup. Yeah, so didn't they beat the United States? I think they beat the US. Hey, Mark Davis says, Tom, have you ever met Johnny Strides here in Toronto or spoke to him before? So I haven't met him in person, but Johnny Strides is an amazing, amazing guy. Really cool. I always watch his streams from Toronto. Really enjoyable. Hey, Alex was on vacation in Brickell, Miami Beach area a few weeks ago, back in Chicago, and now wanting to go back. Ooh, Alec. Yeah, when I moved, when I bought my place in Miami, it's so unbelievable there. It's fantastic. And there's a lot of New Yorkers, and that's why I think I picked Miami over a lot of the other choices, because down in Southern Florida, there's a lot of New Yorkers there. Carolina Tom is looking forward to the moon over Miami next week. What's up, Carolina Tom? Good to see you. Yes, SME Media says hats off to the snowplow guy. Definitely the sanitation department has been working overdrive. So much support and much respect to everybody. The police officers in the city, FDNY, sanitation, thank you all. Hey, you're great and a very good cameraman, and the sound is crisp and clear. Hey, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Hey, Joel from North Carolina says, I just subscribed. Hey, thank you, Joel. North Carolina is great. So North Carolina is actually becoming a big tech hub too. So we've been talking about that on the streams. But if anybody's new, I do write a free financial newsletter where we take a top-down, bottom-up macro approach to investing. So if you want to sign up, it's called the Behind the Street newsletter. It's completely free. It's the first link in the description, or if you type !news, NEWS, in the chat, it'll drop you a link to the Behind the Street newsletter where I give out some actionable ideas each week. We are outside One Penn Plaza. So they just redid this entire thing. It looks great in here. This used to not be so good, but now it is absolutely beautiful. I'll show you guys a little bit of the inside of the lobby. We can't go in, unfortunately, but I'll show you from the outside. It's totally redone in here. Hey, Bombi Rivera says hello from the Bronx. Good to see you. Pablo says, what is this? This is the One Penn Plaza. I actually had an interview in here when I was in college. So they have an all-new atrium and a blue bottle coffee. CL says, when did they finish One Penn? So it's funny. I don't think it's actually finished per se, but the lobby is complete, and it was just opened about a couple months ago. But they're still doing restoration on the sides, and that's why we see all the scaffolding, unfortunately. Fly Girl says, give that newsletter again. So Fly Girl, if you go, the first link in the description of this video, it'll say sign up for the Behind the Street newsletter. If you click that link, it'll show you the link. Or if you type, yeah, I think you just got it right there. So the Nightbot says sign up here for the free Behind the Street newsletter. If you click that link that Nightbot just sent, it'll bring you there. Hey, Lisa's here, says Seaspiracy. What's up, Lisa? Good to see you. Hey, Marianne says, what is One Penn Plaza? So it's just an office building that's connected to Madison Square Garden as well as Penn Station. So once we cross the street here on 8th Avenue, you're going to be able to see it a little bit better because we're not going to be under it. I'll show you guys. Hold on. Hey, Mark Davis says, hey, Tom, how is your consultancy going? You said you had big plans for 2022. It's going really good. You know, better than expected, Mark. We had a string of really, really good meetings. And I actually had a meeting before the holidays with Rogers, which is right in your neck of the woods there. We may be doing a lot of stuff with their IoT team up there in Canada. So hopefully we'll be doing some deals in your neck of the woods in there in Toronto. So more to come on that, but thank you for asking. So this is Madison Square Garden right here. And then this is One Penn Plaza. This big tall building right here. With the one, it is One Penn Plaza. Yeah, Bob says, hurry up, Tom, and get back to Florida so you can share in the freeze. Yeah, it's supposedly like 35 degrees there tonight, isn't it? It's crazy. Yeah, NMB 045. Hopefully we will be going to Toronto soon, hopefully. So a lot of our customers that deploy a lot of endpoint devices in the field, they're branching into Toronto. So in order for us to provide them with connectivity, we need to establish what's called MVNO agreements. I'm not sure if anybody knows what an MVNO is, but essentially it's an agreement to be able to white label data off of multiple cellular towers. So like that guy, that actor, I forget his name. Ryan Gosling's company is an MVNO. Hey, Mark Davis says your Canadian viewers would love you to come to Toronto. Yeah, Mark, I really want to go to Toronto during the summer, hopefully, because it's a little bit too cold over there. Hey, Edwin, good to see you. Blue Lines says greed is not good. Pavlos says I got my first job at some small company and they fired me a couple months. Yikes. Okay, so we're gonna cross the street and go inside the Moynihan train station. But we're not gonna go in the regular way. We are going to go in the better way. The post office. It's beautiful in there. And we will conclude the stream. Hey, L'Oreal says, hey, Tom, how was your weekend? It was really good. Thank you for asking, Lori. It's back to business tomorrow. Big week on Wall Street, a slew of earnings. Also, PayPal, everybody. PayPal reports earnings next week as we are looking at the brand new Hudson Yards. So I'm not sure if we covered it, but PayPal reports Q4 earnings on February 1st. And analysts are expecting earnings per share of $1.12. And that's only up 4% year over year with revenue of $6.9 billion. One more look at the Empire State Building before we go in. But the number one thing we have to look for when PayPal reports earnings is something called TPV. It's the acronym called TPV. And that is transaction payment volume. And it's expected to come in roughly around, I think it was 346 billion. That's for PayPal. So we'll go into that. We're gonna cover earnings. We're gonna do a deep dive this week, so don't worry. But now we're about to go into the Moynihan train station, but the post office one. A-Tire says, hello from Denver. Mercury X says, New York looks really nice tonight. What's up, Mercury X? You? Ah, namaste, agreed. Okay, everybody, we're gonna head in. But I have to keep it down because I'm not allowed to talk loud in here. But look at the architecture in here, beautiful. So this is inside the post office. They just refinished. I'm gonna wipe my feet so I don't fall. So this is the original post office, but they just redid it. So they touched everything up. So check out the ceilings in here. You gotta check it out, look. It's the original post office. Hey, you see EBITDA. What's up, EBITDA? We are in the new post office. Well, the old one. Hope you had a good weekend as well. We are just concluding the stream, EBITDA, but it was a busy one as we reviewed everything on Wall Street for the week ahead. Obviously, a lot of semiconductors reporting earnings, as well as Alphabet. So we are going to keep tabs on the Google Cloud computing unit. Ooh, it is warm in here. You Got Shook says, why did you delete the Miss Universe comment, Walks on Wall Street? I didn't. What Miss Universe comment? Huh? Joey Garcia says, amazing view. Love New York. So this is the brand new Moynihan train station. Hey, 48, good to see you from New Zealand. So everybody, we do have to conclude the stream. I do have to go home now. It's going to be a busy, busy week next week, but we'll cover that here on the stream. So I appreciate everybody joining. If you liked the video today, leave it a like, leave a comment, check out the Behind the Street newsletter. And I'll see you all in the next one. Appreciate it. Have a good week ahead. CLG, appreciate it. Miss Reels, Kim Grant, Andre A, EBITDA. Have a good one, Mark Davis, and all of the moderators. Just to quickly cover what we went over on the stream today, in good news, so the Chinese authorities approved AMD and Xilinx takeover. That deal is probably going to close first of the month. NVIDIA is abandoning its chip deal with ARM, obviously due to the regulators in China and Europe. Google reports Q4 earnings on Tuesday. Analysts are expecting $27.64 per share on revenue of about $72.2 billion. YouTube advertising revenue, which I think is one of the most important, is supposed to come in at $8.8 billion. I think we are going to see a surprise to $9 billion. But to top it off, Google's cloud computing unit is expected to come in at $5.44 billion. So that's all I got for today, guys. Western Mass, Dave, Brad, Michelle McGraw, the one and only, Robert Muhammad, Dawn, Darth Bong, CLG, JD, Cynthia, Alice, Joey, Al J, Pablo, Abdul, Roy S, Joshua Lopez, By the Book, EBITDA, Sunshine After Rain, Sunshine New York, Mark R. Davis, Karina Thompson, and everybody. And to the Mighty Bull, have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere, and you just need to know where to look. And I'll see you all right back here tomorrow. Enjoy the Monday, make it a good week, stay optimistic, because optimists always prevail. And we'll see you here at 8:30 tomorrow.